excited to be with you all tonight. Thank you so much, Minister India, for inviting me to share with these beautiful women. Y'all look good. India, as she mentioned, we've been friends for a very long time, and I just appreciate her friendship, her mentorship. She's always been the woman. Everything she touches turns to gold. Woo! And I'm happy that that's my friend. All right, so we're going to have some discussions. As India mentioned, I am the Spice Lady, so make sure that y'all stop by my table after we finish. I have spices. I'm also a new author, have some books. I'm a mom, I'm a personal trainer, I'm a jack of all trades. I need to stop doing so much stuff. But I'm thrilled to go on this journey with you tonight as we all unmask our spice, live bold, and stop settling, right? So tonight, I'm gonna ask you to be 100% honest with yourself. I want you to reflect. I want you to turn inward to your innermost being. Because I'm going to ask some questions that's really going to make you think. What if the life you're living right now isn't the life God meant for you, but the one you settled for? At what time, right? What if the life you are living right now is not the life that God meant for you, but the life you settled for? So sometimes when we think of settling, we think of hopes and dreams and ambitions that we gave up. But sometimes settling doesn't always look like giving up. Sometimes settling is really fear masked as peace. Are you really at peace with your life? Or are you just afraid to ask and go for more? Are you really at peace with the fact that maybe you didn't finish school? Or are you just afraid to step into the unknown?
Say that.
Are you really at peace with being single? Or are you afraid to open yourself up to love? Are you really at peace with being in a relationship that is draining you? Or are you just afraid to start over? Let me not make it so serious, right? Are you really at peace with your hairstyle? Seriously, are you really at peace with that hairstyle, or are you afraid to get a new hairstylist because you've been with this one for 20 years? The hairstylist is still giving you the mushroom, and we don't even go to silk press, platinum. Really, how many times do you go to the hairstylist, you get in the car, what you do, you pull out your phone, and you fixing it over again, instead of just being real with yourself and say, you know what, she's not it anymore. I just have to move on and look into a different direction. Could it be that you have low expectations? Maybe you might say, I have enough money, I can pay my bills even though I don't have much left. My friends are good enough for me. I'm always there for them, but it's not reciprocated, but they're good enough. My job is good enough, but it's not fulfilling. It pays the bills. My marriage is good enough. We aren't in love anymore, but I need companionship, so it's good enough for me. But is good enough really what God wants for you? Is there more that He wants to give you? In any of these situations, it sounds like settling. But why can't we trust God to take it from good enough to grand? That's why John 10:10 is one of my favorite verses. Jesus came so that we can have life and have it more abundantly. Okay? Not a little bit, not barely, more abundantly. Jesus did not have intentions for us to have a mediocre life.
Say that again.
And let's get this straight, abundance is not always about luxury. It's not about cars and nice houses, even though I want that. That's not what abundance is all about, right? Abundance is about living. It's about enjoying the life that He gave us. It's waking up with peace. It's believing that there's still more out there for you. Now, for me personally, years ago, on the outside, I had it all, right? I had my good government job, which is a joke now, not, good like it was years ago. I had my two children. I got the boy and the girl. My husband's fine, but I still felt dull. I felt something was missing. It was a spark that was missing. That spice that I have now, I didn't have back then. And I didn't know what it was. I thought maybe I need another kid. Maybe I need to have, I had two siblings. Maybe I just need another kid. And I quickly realized that wasn't it. But I remember praying to God, I just want peace. I just want to feel good. And I heard this so clearly in my spirit. Shanera, you don't want peace. You want permission. Permission to stop pretending that where you are and what you have is enough. Come on. And that really hit me hard. Like, he ate me up in that moment. Because I have been causing my comfort zone peace. One, because I didn't want to seem ungrateful for all the blessings that I did have. But what I learned as time went on is that peace that costs your purpose is not peace. It's avoidance. I'll say it one more time. Peace that costs your purpose isn't peace, it's avoidance. So let me ask you, where have you stopped asking God for more because fear had you in check? Or your insecurity made you feel like you were not worth abundance? Or if you asked for more, God would think that you weren't satisfied with what He already gave you. So I want you to take a few seconds and think about that, because that's usually where settling begins. What I've learned is that sometimes we don't settle because we don't believe God can do more. We settle because we convince ourselves that we shouldn't ask for more. We lowered the bar so disappointment won't hurt as bad. We pray safe prayers. We live these safe lives. We don't dream all the way. We don't show up all the way. All to protect ourselves from being let down or failing. But I've learned that low expectations, they don't protect you, they imprison you. Because you start expecting and accepting the bare minimum in your relationships and your opportunities and even from yourself. So look, have y'all ever been in a relationship and you have a little disagreement with your boo and you say, why can't you do this for me? I don't ask for much. I feel like I say that to my children. All the time. Why can't you just make up your bed? I don't ask y'all for much. And then I ask myself, well, am I settling as a parent? Should I be requiring more from my child? But why do we have such low expectations? We go to restaurants and other establishments and we have high expectations, right? And Deborah, the queen of having high expectations at a restaurant. Don't go out with them. When that food get messed up, they gonna send it back right immediately. I don't do that all the time. Sometimes I'm do. But sometimes we go to restaurants and other establishments and we have these high expectations. If they don't meet our expectations, what we gonna do? Complain to who? What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna call somebody. Manage it and we all get home, what y'all gonna do? Call forward. Call forward, right? So my mom is the queen of high expectations for places where she spends her money. She loves watermelon. She absolutely loves watermelon. I don't know anybody that loves watermelon more than her. She went to Costco. She lives in Catonsville. Went to Costco and opened this. She got a watermelon. She got home 2 days later. She cut the watermelon up. The watermelon wasn't like bad or anything, but it wasn't sweet enough. Right? What y'all gonna do with that hat? This lady, she gets a trash bag. Hello. She takes the watermelon, it's been already scooped out and everything, put it in a trash bag. She goes back to Costco and she says, I want my refund because this watermelon isn't sweet enough. That's what I did. But why is it so easy to have high expectations for service and quality, but not the way we live? Sometimes the most radical thing a woman can do is raise her expectations of God, of life, of love, and of herself. God promised us abundance. God didn't lower his promise, but you just lowered your expectations. And sometimes we lower our expectations because we forget who we are. Now, when you forget your flavor, this is my spice section. When you forget your flavor, you start accepting bland. And none of us were born to be bland. You were born with seasoning, okay? God made you custom blended. So where are my cooks at? Who cooks? Y'all cook? All right, I need somebody. Somebody, they gonna say, I'm see who tells the truth. All right, I need somebody to tell me how they make collard greens. All right. Start with washing.
So, I go to the market to get my fresh collard greens. I come home, I put them in water, salt, and everything, let them soak. You know, then I clean them, cut them, and I get the root of the turnip, and I add that to my greens as well, with some turkey, some chicken broth, some scallion onions, some chicken, yes, little seasonal, little paprika, you know, and I put it in a slow cooker. Okay. Yeah. No, not a crack pot. Slow cooker. Pressure cooker. There we go. Pressure cooker. What you talking about? Yes. Yeah, they get real tender.
All right, I need somebody else too. Somebody else come in and tell me how to make that greens. All right, tell me how to make it.
I go to the fish market, I get my greens, I come home and I clean them. I put a little salt and water. After I clean them, I put them in my, I put them in a pot, and I put Wiley's green season in there.
That's the store had mine yet.
I use Wiley's green seasoning, and I use accent, and I use smoked turkey wings.
So all y'all going to special markets, nobody going to all these things.
Y'all didn't write that down. I'll go to my website, spicelit.com. I got collard green recipes on there. Yeah. Well, look. The reason I wanted you all to tell me how you make greens is because you were putting so many different things in that pot to make those greens perfect. You're not just taking the greens and putting chicken broth, is salt. Right? Some people might do that. We don't do that. All right? When I started my business, Spice Living, I realized that salt by itself is fine, garlic by itself is fine, paprika by itself is fine. Paprika does have a taste, y'all. But when you start blending spices and ingredients together in the right proportion, something greater happens. Every spice brings its own note, its own purpose, its own heat, and when they come together, they transform whatever they touch. And that's what purpose does. That's what we do when we live as our full selves. You are not meant to stand alone in one dimension. You're meant to show up as the whole blend of everything God placed in you. Your story, your strength, your softness, your scars, all of it. So when you try to tone down your flavor, you're robbing the world of the recipe God wrote with your life. You are a blend. You are not basic. We are not basic women. All right? So tonight, spoken through God, I am giving each and every one of you permission to bring your flavor back. You are the spice this season needs. So now, let's talk about why we tend to tone down our spice. If I can be honest, for me, one of the biggest reasons was imposter syndrome. That little voice that kind of says, who do you think you are? You're not supposed to be here. You're not qualified. Somebody else already does that better. And honestly, when Minister India asked me to speak today, I immediately started to doubt myself. I said, a minister might be more qualified. Minister might be better. A first lady might have more to say. I'm probably not churchy enough for this. And then God chin-checked me real quick. God, remember about the chin-check? We're saying that all the time, man. But God chin-checked me real quick. And I felt God say, you are not an imposter in the assignment that I gave you. And that changed everything. You might feel unprepared for something, but that's not a disqualification. It just means that you just need to develop more.
All right, that's right.
So let's pause for a second. How many of you walked in a room and you felt like you just didn't belong? Maybe you felt like that tonight, because you don't know anybody here. Maybe you felt like you walked in and you said, everybody got some pajamas. I don't know about to wear pajamas. I don't feel like I belong. But that's what the enemy wants us to think, and then we start to shrink, right? That's not confusion. That's confirmation that the enemy would not attack what isn't a threat. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. My children, they go to private school. A lot of people don't look like us. And I remember going to that school and feeling like I didn't belong. I mean, look at my hair, I had my big hoop earrings on. I pull up in carpool playing Megan Thee Stallion. I'm feeling like, I don't belong. And then I really had to check myself, my husband to check. Why would I not belong? Why, even though these institutions may not have been created for us, I earn the right to be here. My children earn the right to be here. So y'all have to make sure that you have that level of confidence that you belong in any space. So I want to shift into what abundance really looks like, because as I mentioned before, we limit it to money or material things. But God's idea of abundance is layered. It's peace, it's purpose, and wholeness in every part of your life. Now, right now, I want to hear from you. Y'all can scream out, y'all don't have to use the mic. But what does abundance look like in your life? What do you want abundance to look like in your life? For some people, it might be finances. For other people, it could be relationships. But I want to hear from you. You can just scream it out. What does abundance look like in your life?
Joy. Peace. Harmony.
The ability to travel.
Having a calendar that is more productive than full.
Yeah, that's good.
That's it? I got more. What's about to say? Y'all?
Friendships and relationships.
Yes. That's it. Y'all quiet. Y'all don't feel. Okay. Well, I'm going to walk you through a few kinds of Abundance and peace. When your soul isn't at war with your circumstances. Freedom from constant anxiety, knowing you're safe in God's plan. Abundance and purpose. Clarity about why you are here and what you carry. Knowing that your life has impact. Abundance in relationships. I think Bridget said that. Healthy, reciprocal connections that bring growth. Right? Having people who speak into your life. Abundance in health. Caring for your body like it's a vessel. Making choices that honor your future self. Abundance in joy. Someone mentioned that, right? A joy that doesn't depend on what's happening around you. Abundance in creativity, when you can see possibilities where other people see limitations. Abundance in finances, when you live in overflow, not just to have, but to give, right? When you have wisdom to manage your resources, right? And when you have confidence that provision will follow your purpose. Abundance in faith, living with expectancy instead of anxiety. Abundance and rest. That's what I That's my thing. Abundance and rest. The ability to unplug without guilt. Abundance and gratitude. Seeing blessings that you used to overlook. Right? A mindset that focuses on what's right, not what's missing. Abundance is not about getting more. It's about being connected to the right source. So John 15 tells us, abide in me and you will bear much fruit. Fruit comes from staying connected. Now that we know what abundance is, let's get practical, okay? You're saying, this is what abundance is, but how do we live in abundance, right? We live in abundance by focusing on the daily choices that open the door to more. I got some steps for y'all. If y'all want my notes, y'all can email me and I will gladly send you my notes, okay? Step 1, ask bigger. Abundance starts when you admit that you want more, right? Ask like you believe God can. Ask like you believe you deserve it. Start writing your prayers and your goals in the present tense. I saw, like 2 days ago, a reel from Tracy Ellis Ross where she talked about how she creates her prayers from her fears. So she doesn't say, I hope I'll find peace. But she says, I live in peace daily. Not, I want to feel joy, but joy is my normal now. Abundance begins where doubt ends. Step 2, you need to audit your environment.
That's good.
Abundance cannot live in clutter. If you want more, you gotta do what? Make room for more. Check your space, check your schedule, and your circle. Really identify what or who you have been holding on to that no longer fits who you are becoming. Because some of us pray for new seasons while we're still holding on to expired ingredients. Want that again? Some of us are praying for new seasons while we are still holding on to expired ingredients.
Get your offering.
Step 3, align before you act. Ask yourself, is what I'm doing today aligned with who I say I want to be? So look, if you want abundance and wellness, why are you at McDonald's every day? Or Chick-fil-A. But seriously, if you want abundance and wellness, you want your body to start feeling good, feeling a certain way, you want your productivity to change, you have to do the daily steps that really match what it is that you say you want. Step 4, activate gratitude. Gratitude multiplies what you already had. Because if you can't celebrate little things, you won't see big things clearly when they come. Step 5, add structure to your faith. Faith opens the door, but structure keeps it from swinging shut. Faith creates abundance, but structure sustains it. That means budgeting your money, protecting your rest, setting real boundaries, honoring your commitments, working out, eating healthy, etc. If you want your blessings to last, you have to build systems that protect your peace. Step 6, act like it's already yours. Abundance is a mindset before it's a manifestation. You have to move like it's already done. Step 7, abide. At the end of it all, you stay close to God because that's our source. Everything flows from the connection that we have with God. You don't earn abundance, you receive it through relationship. You don't chase it, you walk in it. So before we close, I want to slow things down just a little bit, and I want you all to think of one area in your life where you've been settling. It could be your faith, your career, your relationships, even how you talk to yourself. And I want you to picture what abundance will look like there. What would it feel like to stop living small and actually believe God for more? So what I want you all to do, y'all still have the cards that Rhonda gave out? Yes. I want y'all to flip it over, or if you have space on the front side, and I want you to decide what area of your life you have been settling. I'm not gonna make y'all share it, because that's y'all business, okay? But I want you to be honest with yourself. Don't just write something just to write it. I want y'all to, everybody has an area that they can separate in. And I want y'all to sit and think about it just for a few. Write it down. Now, if anybody wants to share, you can share. If you share, I'll give you a copy of my book. But don't feel that you have to. Does anybody want to share? I'll share. It's Jan. Okay. Who'll do awesome?
I wrote down, I'm settling in my career. I'm just afraid to like step out. I know I want to own my own business. But then I had to plan and everything, the whole week, and then the next week it'll be gone. So, and then like for my goals, like, for myself. Now that, I'm an empty nester, kids are grown. Okay, well, who are you? Like, who are you now? And then I'll go through that book myself. Then the next week, I'm back to the same, I won't say dumb stuff, but the same thing. Right. Same thing. And I'm always put myself on the back burner. So it's like, when do I start putting me first? Right. So so for my first one, I would say myself. And then I would say my career.
So who has recently made a career change?
I did recently, but I can help her with that.
Okay, good. And who's an empty nester? All right, y'all go connect with Shane. That's all we here, right? To communicate with each other, to lean on each other, to learn from each other, okay? So Shane, you got two people that have already mastered what it is that you're struggling with, right? So when we meet again, you're gonna have that new job, and you'll be living your best life as an empty nester. Anybody else want to share where they're settling?
Well, I think for me, and I'm not sure whether or not I'm understanding the question when you're talking about settling, because my response to that is that I'm settling for doing church at home online.
Okay.
And after pastoring for 7 years on the Eastern Shore and coming to Baltimore and pastoring for 2 years, and my husband had a stroke, and so he's in a nursing home, so I'm not pastoring anymore. But my church going experience, I've always been in church. So this is very awkward for me to be in church some Sundays and be home, doing church online. And when I say it's awkward, I question God and ask him, why don't you release me so I can find a church? But it's because what my appetite calls for when church is concerned, I'm not finding it when I get there. And it's a great disappointment. But in this period, I have been finding God in a different way. And he has shed me of religiosity. That has definitely been a blessing. I'm finding God to be somebody other than what I have been traditionally taught about God. And I look at all the years that, I grew up in this, and it's no indictment on my forefathers. They only taught me what they knew. But I'm just grateful to God that I didn't go down the grave before I found out really who my God is. So, doing church at home has really been a blessing. It's been a benefit. Wow. But there's a certain guilt that I still feel because I'm not in church every Sunday. And I struggle with that, and I ask God to release me because there are Sundays that I'm really blessed by, doing church at home and just being with God. Right. And not interrupted by other people around me and, whatever I want to do, I'm free to do it. Right. Yeah, so that's where I have settled.
Okay. All right, thank you for sharing. So who in here has struggled with the same thing? And I know it's people in here who struggle with the same thing and who are on the other side of it. Maybe it was returning to church post-pandemic and things weren't the same. See, and y'all sitting right next to each other.
And we have the same birthday.
Oh.
Wow. And we're both in ministry leadership. We didn't even know that until she stood up.
Wow. Okay. So y'all go connect.
We already connected.
We already connected.
Right?
Wow.
When your birthday?
February 4th. And we've indicted you and allowed you to come in as our Libra balance. I know we're not supposed to believe in that, but they followed Jesus to a star.
And I'm going to close. I think my time is up. I don't know how long I've been up here, but I really do pray that you always have the courage to choose more. Okay? So I want us to declare it together. Say it like you're making a promise to yourself. And repeat after me. I will not settle.
I will not settle.
I live in overflow.
I live in overflow.
I will live abundantly.
I will live abundantly.
One more time. I will not settle.
I will not settle.
I will live in overflow.
I will live in overflow.
I will live abundantly.
I will live abundantly.
Amen.
Amen.
One more thing, y'all. This is important. I left this out. Abundance is not a reward. It is your inheritance.
I'm gonna go be embarrassed. Clap that tea. Clap that.